How can you read this? There's no pictures.
Well, some people use their imagination.
Belle, it's about time you got your head out of those books and...
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Senior developer, co-founder of EHG Mike held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 175. And if you can't hear it in my voice, I'm basically losing my voice. Today is day 38 of my subathon, and these 16 hour streams, my voice is finally starting to go, just FYI. And you'll notice for this dev stream, there is someone different on stream. That is because this is the lore master Kyle that actually joined Mike today. So a lot of the questions were lore related, but there was a leak in here or an announcement that you're gonna hear. And we're gonna jump right into this around, this is a time travel game. Why don't we go back and warn people?
If the Epoch allows us to travel through time, why do we not use it to, for instance, warn Herod about Raya's conquest before it happens, or define a Southern Emperor before he starts the Empire? A large part of that has to do with the fact that the Epoch is very powerful in itself, but you as the traveler don't have full mastery of it. The Epoch is drawn to these certain kind of big kind of key moments and these other kind of important kind of like, kind of like windows in time, and can give you access to the alternate realities of the monolith and stuff. So you don't have complete mastery over the Epoch. You are very much kind of at the whim of what the traveler can do with the Epoch. So that is something that actually there are like some story stuff that'll happen towards the end to kind of like deal into that a little more. But the kind of simple answer to that is, if you had full mastery of the Epoch, that'd be more possible, but the Traveler doesn't have full mastery of the Epoch.
Teaser, or I guess more of an Easter egg, number one, something is hidden in the map.
But what I'm currently seeing now, it's to the right of what I'm currently seeing.
To the right?
To the right. It's very small.
Oh, I know what you're looking for, this.
Yeah.
I know what you're looking for.
Yeah. I will say there is no actual lore relevance to that. It's just a fun Easter egg.
Yeah. I can't blow this up easily. If you come in here and look, it's a reference to another game. A large enemy in another game.
Yeah, so no actual lore relevance. That's just one of my favorite Easter eggs in the entire game.
It's from Chrono Trigger. Now let's talk Titans.
Back up into Eagle Land again. We have met / heard of two Titans so far, the Lightless Arbor, the Mountain Beneath, like the big stone Titan guy, and the Weaver. Are the Titans coming? Are there Titans coming? Titans are, like, I would say they're like more Titans are going to come eventually, just because they are a fun, like, type of, creature, type of, enemy to
character.
have. I will say the Titans aren't an explicit faction. I would say the Titans are more so, it's a term for these, like, titanic, these huge creatures in the ancient era that couldn't really coexist with the gods, and that the gods and humanity together either wiped out most of them or drove the ones they didn't wipe out to kind of the outskirts of, the world, to where they don't really interfere with, the gods and humanity's, dominance in the world. So rather than the Titans being this faction that is going to come and do things that have, like, ties between different Titans, the Titans are more so a term for these almost godlike beings that were pushed out during the transition from the ancient era to the divine era. So there will be more Titans in the future, but as it is, there's really no Titan faction that they belong to that, you would expect, like, a structure for them to have.
Kind of like a tier of being, not a group.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like
Obviously.
they sit close to gods, but without that kind of divine, like, support from Eterra, as it were.
Influence.
Now let's talk about old men.
We meet the final member of the Triad in Chapter 10. We have met Gaspar and Balthus, will the third be Melchior. So I will say that Chapter 10 will not introduce a Melchior, unfortunately. There are plans to introduce a third old man into the game that will have a name, if not Melchior, then at least Melchior kind of inspired. Some of those plans have shifted over time, and some of those plans have changed more recently than others, but there is still a plan to get that third old man in there somewhere. But it will not be in Chapter 10, unfortunately.
Gotta have that,
yes,
that group of old men.
Like, I wish I could go more into some of the recent changes on that front that have kind of like had to cause some shifts on that plan for the Melchior thing, but that's talking about some Chapter 11 stuff that we definitely can't talk about yet. But anyways, I'll go and
Which is being laid out, and Chapter 10 stuff's being created with Chapter 11 stuff in mind and everything.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like the third old man won't be in Chapter 10. Might have been planned to be in Chapter 11, but that plan might have changed. So yeah, a little secret thing.
Already working on Chapter 11. If you don't know, Last Epoch's campaign will be 12 chapters in total. I love this next question.
Just okay.
Yeah, I got one.
Okay, so this is an actual mic question. So at the moment, most of the good pet/minion builds are solo build, solo Archmage, solo Scorpion. Can we expect some love for enjoyers of large skelly armies or various animal pack builds?
Yeah, I think there's, I don't want to say like specifically there's going to be targeted buffs in certain situations or anything like that, but increasing the variety of pet builds that are available is definitely on the list. So a vague yes.
I will totally accept that. And the question is so valid. It's, what's the best way to play Necromancer? Oh, you probably got a bunch of these skeletons and a bunch of golems and a bunch of wraiths. No, it's a single golem, a single wraith lord, a single abomination. Like, everybody plays single minion because it's so easy to buff it. You could put double shades on it. Or if you play companion, there's a lot of nodes that give multiplicative damage or life to single companion. EHG, we want an army. Kyle now starts talking and spills the beans. Listen to this.
Rewinding a bit back to the ancient era, like in Chapter 10, how excited we are question. When we first started working on Chapter 10, it was on the heels of working on Chapter 9. And then we pivoted to making the Temporal Sanctum dungeon. Then after that, we pivoted to... Was that when we added timelines 8, 9, and 10 right after that?
Yep.
Is that right? This sounds right. Then we added the 2 more dungeons. Then we did the Chapter 1 overhaul. And, there was a couple other big... I think we had our year-long multiplayer heads down in that time as well.
Yeah.
Then we had the item factions, added in those. And I think right after item factions, like, okay, can we start doing Chapter 10 again? No, we're doing the Harbingers. So, like, and in between each of those, like, very frequently okay, are we jumping back to working Chapter 10 now? No, we're not. We're doing something else. So we've, like, reignited and put back in the back burner Chapter 10 stuff several times over the course of 5 years. So it's very exciting to finally see Chapter 10 coming out in Season 3, just so we can finally get that campaign progression that we've been, like, chomping at the bit to do since for 5 years now. We've had more time spent with Chapter 9/chapter than we have since the game first. I didn't think about it in that direction before. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was planned. I looked, I was like, maybe I missed their official announcement. Nothing. But Kyle just said live on stream yesterday, Chapter 10 of the campaign is coming Season 3. Now let's talk Orobyss.
So back to an Eagles prepared question. Without getting too spoilery, is the story going to be complete when Chapter 12 gets here with a confrontation with Orobyss, or will the story continue in the Monolith and other activities? So it's kind of a both answer in that the confrontation with Orobyss will happen as an in-game activity. The confrontation with Orobyss won't be in Chapter 12, but it'll be in-game after the campaign. But that being said, we are not going to release Chapter 12 until we also can release that Orobyss confrontation in-game. So the kind of way it's going to go is, oh my god, Mike's past the last board bar. Oh, I heard a victory grunt, but my screen footage is. He got it. He got it.
And there's how long the delay is. Oh.
So back to the question. So the short version is when Chapter 12 comes out. That is also when the confrontation with Orobyss will come out as well. But the end of Chapter 12 won't be the Orobyss confrontation. It'll be in game. So they'll come out together. It just won't, player progression-wise, be at that same moment. If that makes sense.
That's very interesting. So once the campaign is over, your final fight will not be Orobyss. That isn't the final campaign fight to finish the story. That being said, we will have Orobyss as an endgame Pinnacle boss, which is what I'm guessing. So Chapter 12 and the new Pinnacle boss, likely Orobyss, coming at the same time. The turtle of enormous girth.
Prepared Eagles question: the giant turtle woven echo, are we fighting on the back of a titan? I would say that the giant turtle does count as a titan in the sense that it would be classed as a titan, and not that titans are any kind of like predetermined like faction. So I would classify that turtle as a titan.
But you wouldn't see him at the meetings with all the other titans necessarily.
Yeah, the Titans don't really have meetings to hold, but like if you were to look at a spread of the creatures in Eterra, you would look at the turtle and go like, that's a Titan.
If you're making like a tier list, an Eterra power tier list.
Eterra power tier list. Let's see here. I would say on an individual scale, most dragons. Then above that would be kind of butting heads. Would be particularly powerful dragons, and most titans. Above that would be Divine Era gods. Well, the gods that you see in the Divine Era, but they're also like present in the Ancient Era. And then above that, you would have the whole kind of mix of like Eterra, Observer, Orobyss, all those kind of beings. So that's kind of the rough tiering I would do. And I would say that the Weaver sits in kind of a awkward spot like between the gods and Eterra, Observer, Orobyss, but she's got her own kind of stuff going on and avenues to potentially like challenge Eterra, Observer, Orobyss.
All right, everybody. Unfortunately, we've come to the final question for Dev Chat 145, and this is about a redesign of Eterra. Eterra is top dog in Last Epoch, and they're going to actually look at an image that I have never seen before in my over 4,000 hours of playing this game. Thank you guys for the Friday live stream. The community truly appreciates it. Make sure you come by Aaron Action RPG on Twitch. Again, day 38 of my subathon, and I just appreciate you guys all so much. We are 900 subscribers away from 100,000. So if you think I've earned it, hit that button. All right, I'm done. Mike and Kyle, take it away.
Boys, it's fine. How many keys do I have? Yeah, it's fine. Down here, this one. This?
Okay, it's behind it's behind the test dummies. Oh, okay. So, I recall this mural. So we have statues of Eterra in the game. Those are very, very old. Eterra has gone a visual overhaul in her design since those original statues, and this figure, I believe, is referencing that new design of Eterra.
Could you say that like the statues might be from people seeing visual depiction, like seeing representations of Eterra that might not be the same every time, and then they can.
I will say that unless we get confirmation from the art department that we can replace all those statues. But anyways, I saw those shoulder elements, and immediately was like, okay, that's that new design. Have you? I know you do the leaks on the stream a lot. Have you leaked to the new Eterra design or no?
Nope.
Okay, good. I was about to say, if you have, let's go ahead and show so we can look at the similarities. But since you haven't, I guess I'm the leaker.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a new Eterra concept visual design, and I believe that figure on the mural is inspired by that, and I'm calling that mainly due to those shoulder elements. Because Eterra got a makeover, which I'm very happy about, because her old design is very much it's 2018, 2019, god-looking lady in a robe. But no, we got a way more interesting design for her now, which you might see in one of the campaign chapters that are coming out soon. Who knows?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.